Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Today I have a message for you. Be that person. What does that mean? It means you be the person who's prepared to face an unknown future. You're ready to take care of yourself. You're not going to panic if there's an emergency because you'll know that you are prepared. How can you easily be prepared? Build up your prepper pantry food stockpile so that you don't have to go out to the store if there's an emergency. Maybe you live where there are hurricanes. You want to be prepared ahead of time. You know that hurricane season comes every year. Why would you want to wait until the storm is approaching, the clouds are building, the news is telling you to evacuate, when you could know ahead of time you need to be prepared? So you should constantly have a supply of food that's easy to eat, fresh water, and any of the emergency supplies that would be required for whatever the emergencies are where you live. I used to have a neighbor who went to the store every single day. Don't be that person that can't make a meal without going to the store every single day. You waste the resources of driving there, along with the time that you've wasted going up and down the aisle searching for one or two extra things that you need to make a meal today. And that usually ends up costing you money because every time you go to the store, you probably don't just pick up one thing. Maybe you pick up an extra that wasn't even on your list. And if you look at the end of the month, you've likely way overspent what your grocery budget should be. We want to be able to meal plan, and then we want to shop for those things and be prepared, having those items in our home, in our prepper pantry, in our fridge and freezer, so that we can prepare a meal. Don't be someone who panic buys. If you read in the news, rice is in short supply. Oh my gosh, does that mean you need to run out to the store and buy 50 pounds? No, you should be buying the things that you actually use and eat, foods that you know can last a long time, and you pick them up a little bit at a time. Prepping isn't panic buying, it's stocking up a little at a time. You buy things as you see them, as you need them, as you can afford them. If you're shopping for something like soup and you know you want 2 this week, then you would buy 4 so that you have them for another week. And if you see it at a great price and it's something you like, maybe you'll buy a dozen of them so that you'll have them for several weeks or months. And that's how you build up your prepper pantry, strategically. You want to be that person that has a plan for your life and your future, and not just reacting, bouncing back and forth every day, trying to figure out what to do next. That can't make you feel good. It can't make you have security. It can't give you peace if you don't know what to expect from one minute to the next. Try to have at least a week's worth of extra food in your prepper pantry, your food storage stockpile, so that you don't have to go out if you don't have to. If something happens, you can hunker down and stay there if you need to. What if your car is in the shop and you can't get to the store? Could you continue to make meals so that it isn't a double emergency, that your car broke down and you're hungry? Plus, when we get hungry and we're under stress, that's when we overspend. Maybe we eat foods that aren't good for us. We order takeout, we spend too much, and we don't get the nutrition that we need. And that just then accentuates the problem that we've overspent. We bought things we didn't really want, and we then we feel the surface underneath that we can't really take the best care of ourselves. So that's another good reason to have some food on hand, so you aren't forced to say, oh my goodness, I'm hungry, I don't want to have to figure out what to make for dinner, so let's just drive through McDonald's. It's probably cheaper if you have something planned at home that just takes about as much time to prepare as it does to sit in the drive-thru at McDonald's. You can go home and open up a few packages and make a quick meal, and then you can relax and enjoy them at home. So make a plan of some foods that you could have for a week at a time. Maybe you want pasta and noodles. Maybe you want some cans of chili, macaroni and cheese, peanut butter and crackers, cereal and shelf-stable milk. There are so many foods that you can have on hand that are simple to prepare, they're not very expensive, and then you are comforted knowing that you can prepare the things that you need. You have a way to have the foods that you want. Getting a meal on the table then doesn't present another emergency if you're under duress from whatever else is going on. Food prices are going up, so buying a few extra foods today can help stretch the budget in the future, because foods are likely to continue to go up in price. I've had a few people comment that they never have seen prices go up. They haven't had any shortages in their store, and I can't imagine where that Shangri-La is, because it's nowhere that I've ever lived, and it's nowhere people that I know have ever experienced. So either you're not telling the truth, or you don't go to the store, or you don't pay attention to prices. I don't know. But if you haven't seen prices going up and that you can't get the things you want, I don't know how where you live or how you're dealing with your life, but it's not a reality for nearly everyone else in the world. Let me show you some of the things I bought to add to my food storage stockpile so that I have additional foods, variety, and for not very much money. I bought a few cans of vegetables. I bought kernel corn. I also bought some cream corn, because cream corn is really nice when you add it into soups and stews and chowders. I bought a few cans of tomato soup. I have been shocked at how expensive tomato soup has become. It's nearly $2 a can wherever you go. This used to be like a super cheap, inexpensive food. So let me know in the comments, how much is a can of tomato soup where you live? Tomato soup is very versatile. There's all types of different recipes you can use it in. You don't have to just have a can of tomato soup. There are lots of ways to jazz it up and make a bigger, better, more interesting meal. It can be the flavor base for making a simple meal. So I like to have quite a few cans of tomato soup in my stockpile. Plus, it's also fantastic with a grilled cheese sandwich. I like canned chicken, so I'm continuing to add that. I have quite a few, but I've been using them a lot, and so I need to make sure that I not only use it, rotate it, but then I replace it, so I continue to have an ample supply. A canned meat that I finally found, I haven't seen in a few years, is a can of shrimp. I don't know why shrimp has not been available, but I have not been able to find it. So of course I only bought one because I haven't tried this brand. Let me know if you can find canned shrimp where you live. Maybe it's just a West Coast thing that it isn't available here. I was able to find cans of shrimp, but not on the meat aisle, not with the tuna or any of that. I found it on the international food aisle, but I was glad to get it. But I just bought one to try it because this brand I haven't ever seen before. An easy way to have a lot of food is to pick up one of the Bear Creek soup mixes. They have all kinds of varieties. They're maybe $4 a package, and they make 8 big servings. You only need to add water, and this is the type of food that you find in those emergency meal packs. It's just things like this, but they're far more expensive if you buy them already in a pre-made emergency kit. You can pick up a few of these, and you can have your own DIY emergency meal kit, and you can also just use them when you want to make a big pot of soup. They need 8 cups of water. You can cook them as is on the stove in 15 minutes. They're also easy to put into the crock pot. There are lots of ways you can jazz up the Bear Creek soup mixes, so get a few, look them over. There's all kinds of varieties. Find 1 or 2 that sound interesting to you and check them out. I have lots and lots of different kinds of rice and pasta mixes, but I'm trying to get an additional supply of the potato mixes. They're dehydrated. They come with sauces. I think they're pretty delicious, and you can use them in all kinds of ways as a side dish. There are also ways to turn them into casseroles and stews. Pick up a variety of mixes like the au gratin potatoes, and something that I do with these is I take it out of the box, I store it into a clean canning jar and put on a tight-fitting lid, and that way I get several extra years of storage out of them. Cut out the directions and stick it in the jar with it, and then you're ready to go. I've done that with all kinds of these kinds of packages because the packages can get chewed on, they can get infested with little critters, the contents can get stale, and we want our food to last as long as possible. The better we store our food, the longer it's going to last. Another way to add variety in a very simple way is to stock up on some different kinds of salsas and sauces. I have a Paul Newman mango salsa. This is absolutely delicious. You can pour it over a simple piece of fish, bake it in the oven, and it is so delicious. I also picked up a few enchilada sauces. They're different from just adding, say, taco seasoning, tomato sauce, cans of tomatoes, or even salsas. Enchilada sauce is a little different flavor profile, and so it's something that you might want to add into your different recipes so that you can change up your simple foods and turn them into something different. Make sure you're also stocking up on the longest lasting foods. You want to have some rice, beans, pasta, oatmeal, dehydrated fruits and vegetables, powdered milk, There are all kinds of different foods that you can buy that are designed to last for the longest term, and you can have those in your prepper pantry, in your food storage stockpile, so that if you need a meal this week, next week, or 6 years from now, you're going to have some foods that are available and they'll be there for you when you need them. Plan on how you're going to prepare your food if the power goes out. Do you have some kind of a simple cook stove, a camping stove, a butane stove? Have some way to prepare your meals so that you're ready for the power to go out, for stormy weather, for all kinds of things. And then what's nice is you can even just take it and go camping if you want and help build up the confidence in yourself that you can enjoy your time preparing meals, simple meals, with a camping stove. So it doesn't have to be an emergency to want to use a camping stove. It can be an adventure, and that adventurous spirit can help prepare you to be ready to use your equipment if you need to. I get great comfort knowing that I have what I need, and so I'm willing to stockpile things for that peace of mind. And that's one reason that I'm suggesting it to you. I want everyone to have the best outcome every day that they can. Prepping means we don't have to do the just-in-time shopping. I'm out of toilet paper, I need to go to the store. I'm out of milk, I need to go to the store. If we prepare ahead of time, we know we're going to use those things. Why wouldn't you want to have enough on hand that you don't have to have an emergency if you've used the last square? Be that person. You took care of yourself, your basic needs, the needs of your family. Be that person who can hunker down if you need to and make the best of any situation. Prepping means preparation, but it also is lifestyle insurance that you can continue to make the best of every single day. I hope you'll like my video, share it with someone else you think might enjoy it, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.